Polarization is a term that describes the distance between the two parties in Congress. It also helps describe the distance between ordinary Americans. And one of the ways to understand polarization is to imagine sort of two circles that used to intersect, that you had a middle where there were Democrats and Republicans, and they would get along. Now, that didn't mean there weren't activists on either side of these two parties that pulled against the middle, but there were lots of people in the public and on Capitol Hill who could work with each other. Now, over the last 20 to 30 years, those circles have been coming apart. There are a lot of reasons for that. One is that we're electing people who take more extreme positions, but as these circles have come apart, we have fewer and fewer people in the middle to find the common ground. And members of Congress now are much more liberal in the Democratic Party and conservative in the Republican Party, and they're finding it more and more difficult to get along with each other. In fact, in the late 1990s and into recent years, what we've seen is fewer and fewer senators and House members who actually cross over into this intersection. In the United States Senate, for example, in 2011, 2012, there wasn't a single senator in the Democratic Party who was more conservative than the most liberal Republican. What that means is that there was nobody in this middle. Now, why does polarization matter? It undermines the ability to take action on particularly important issues. Now, the framers didn't want Congress to work very well. They designed it to be very difficult to get a bill passed through Congress, very difficult. Lots of ways you can kill a piece of legislation. But they did want Congress to get along to make major decisions on very important international and domestic threats. And this polarization, which is measured by the distance between the two parties, this polarization has undermined the ability to get much done in Congress, and that's why public approval of Congress right now and over the last 10 years is bouncing along bottom. 10, 12% of Americans providing approval toward Congress. It just couldn't be worse. And that is in part because of the polarization, the sense that Washington doesn't work, the sense that there's gridlock and that there's a lot of trivial stuff going on in the legislative process, and that big money plays a very significant role in slowing things down, and you see that in the polarization data.